How to become an audio engineer, brought to you by jobsearchchannel.com.
What's going on today, you guys? So today we're going to be going over the question of who is Guns N' Roses' music producer. Now, I've been learning about music production for over 10 years now, though I'm still learning every single day. I think it's one of those things that when you get into music, you have to kind of quickly realize that things are ever changing and things are ever evolving. You will constantly be learning, and just because of the ever-changing technological and business side of the music industry, it's one of those things where you always want to be prepared to ask new questions and seek out new answers because you never want to fall behind. Staying ahead of the curve, I think, is very, very important when you're looking for a successful career in music. Now, I got started in music because it's always been a huge passion of mine. I actually started out as a singer and guitarist, playing in different bands, touring here and there across the U.S., and finally, I decided, hey, I want to get in on the music production side and see what it's all about. I had always been sort of curious about it, but never really knew much about how to get started. So I ended up going to school and studying music there, studied music theory, music technology, the business, and all that. I got on the other side and did a few internships at some studios out here in LA, which were absolutely wonderful. I highly recommend if anyone is getting into the music industry. I think it's very, very, very important that you have some sort of hands-on experience. And I think getting an internship with a professional is the best way to obtain that sort of thing. Now, after that, I got out and got myself a job as a music producer, composer, and writer at a sync production studio out here in LA, where I've been working full-time for the past 2 years. Very exciting. So you might want to know the answer to the question of who is Guns N' Roses' music producer, as, well, let's face it, Guns N' Roses is probably one of the biggest rock bands of all time. I mean, they've really just, they pioneered a sort of hard rock sound in the 80s and came out on the other side with just an incredible amount of success. They have done so many albums and at this point are all kind of off doing their own thing. But I think it's also very, very important to note that behind them and behind the success of Axl Rose or Slash, there is the producer Mike Clink. Mike Clink, he's an American record producer. He began his career as an engineer over at Record Plant Studios. And this is where he started recording Guns N' Roses, as well as other really popular bands at the time, including Whitesnake, Triumph, Motley Crue, Megadeth, UFO, and lots of others. He actually began producing in 1986. It was pretty much Guns N' Roses. That was his first kind of foray into production. He was actually the one who produced their debut album, Appetite for Destruction, which is very, very important. And of course, then he moved on to produce a lot of kind of the American hard rock and thrash metal bands of the 80s and 90s. I think if you're somebody who is, looking to get into production for rock, for glam metal, for heavy metal, pop, rock, whatever it may be in that kind of sphere, then it is very, very important to check out Mike Clink and see the work that he has done, because I think he was such a big innovator in that world, and especially with the technology that was available back then, being able to craft such a massive sound that's stood the test of time, that's something that you could definitely learn from. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions, please, please, please check the description and hit the link to get in touch with us. Other than that, good luck on your journey to learn more about music production. All right, y'all, take it easy.